Every hot pepper on Earth measures its heat on a single scale. It was invented in 1912 by an American pharmacist named Wilbur Scoville, working for the Parke-Davis Pharmaceutical Company in Detroit. He was trying to standardize the potency of the capsicum ointments used in medical creams at the time. He didn't know he was creating the framework the entire global spice industry would use for the next 113 years. The scale measures a single chemical compound, capsaicin, the molecule that makes chili peppers hot. It doesn't burn your tongue. It doesn't damage tissue. It tricks the pain receptor called TRPV1 into believing it's touching something above 43 degrees Celsius. Your brain interprets the signal as fire. Nothing is actually burning. 7 levels of hot pepper, from the sweet pepper that has 0 capsaicin to the pepper that was engineered in an English greenhouse and can send you to the hospital. This is every level of hot pepper, explained. Level 0, sweet peppers, 0 SHU. At the bottom of the Scoville scale sits a pepper with no heat at all. Bell peppers, banana peppers, sweet Italian peppers, cubanelles, all belong to the same species as every other pepper on Earth. Capsicum annuum. Same plant family. Same genetic base. What separates them from their spicy cousins is a single recessive gene that stops the plant from producing capsaicin altogether. They register 0 Scoville heat units. 0. No matter how much you eat, there is no burn, no delay, no aftertaste of fire. Sweet peppers are native to Central and South America. Cultivated in Mexico, Central America, and northern South America for over 6,000 years. Christopher Columbus brought them to Europe in 1493, mistaking them for a variety of black pepper, which is why they carry the name pepper, despite having no botanical relationship to the black peppercorn. Bell peppers today are the most consumed pepper in the world by tonnage. Sweet, crisp, and structural in every cuisine that adopted them post-1500. Hungarian paprika, Spanish gazpacho, Italian peperonata, American stuffed peppers. They are chili peppers with the fire gene turned off. Level 1. Mild, 100 to 2,500 SHU. The first level of measurable heat is where most home cooks begin. Poblano peppers, the mild dark green pepper used in chile relleno, measure between 1,000 and 2,000 Scoville units. Dried, they become anchos, the deep, sweet base of most Mexican mole sauces. Peperoncini, sold pickled in every American Italian sub, register 100 to 500 SHU. Anaheim peppers, the mild long green pepper used in New Mexican cuisine, sit between 500 and 2,500. At this level, the heat is a note, not a signal. It adds depth without pain. Most people can eat mild peppers by the handful without discomfort. The pepper varieties at this level were developed largely by breeders in the American Southwest between 1900 and 1960, deliberately selected to reduce the heat of local wild peppers so that a broader consumer market could tolerate them. The Anaheim pepper takes its name from Anaheim, California, where farmer Emilio Ortega selected and stabilized it in the 1890s. This level exists because the market wanted flavor without commitment. Level 2, medium, 2,500 to 30,000 SHU. Jalapenos, the pepper most Western consumers associate with the word spicy, sit at 2,500 to 8,000 Scoville units. This is the level where most Western consumers first meet real heat. Jalapenos are grown in enormous volumes across Mexico and Texas. Chipotle, the smoked, dried jalapeno, is one of the world's most identifiable chili flavors. Serrano peppers at 10,000 to 25,000 SHU sit slightly higher. At this level, capsaicin becomes a physical sensation you cannot ignore. It signals your body to sweat, to salivate, to breathe faster. But the burn is short, usually fading within 1 to 2 minutes. Jalapenos were the pepper NASA chose to include in its research program in the 1970s and 1980s, testing whether astronauts could safely eat spicy food in low gravity. Astronaut William Lenoir grew them on the Space Shuttle Columbia in 1982, making the jalapeno the first pepper ever grown in space. Level 3. Hot, 30,000 to 100,000 SHU. Cayenne peppers register 30,000 to 50,000 Scoville units. Tabasco peppers, the variety used in the sauce of the same name, sit at 30,000 to 50,000 SHU. At this level, the burn is no longer optional. Even a small amount produces immediate, obvious pain. Sweating, tearing, coughing. Tabasco is one of the oldest continuously produced pepper sauces in the world. The McElhenney Company on Avery Island, Louisiana, has been producing it since 1868. The recipe has not changed. Mash the peppers with salt, age the mixture in oak barrels for 3 years, blend with vinegar, bottle. Every bottle of Tabasco sold anywhere in the world for the past 157 years has come from the same island. Cayenne is the workhorse of the industrial spice trade, the pepper behind chili powder, hot sauces, cured meats, and the vast majority of spicy processed foods sold in Western supermarkets. Level 4, very hot, 100,000 to 350,000 SHU. Habanero and Scotch bonnet peppers register 100,000 to 350,000 Scoville units, a 10 to 100-fold jump from the previous level. At this level, capsaicin enters the mouth as a fruit note first and then explodes into pain over the following 10 seconds. The delay is the trademark. First, mango, apricot, tropical fruit. Then, fire. Habaneros originated in the Amazon basin, spread to Mexico, and became the defining pepper of the Yucatan Peninsula. Scotch bonnets, genetically similar, visually distinct with their squat lantern shape, are the foundational pepper of Jamaican, Trinidadian, and Barbadian cuisine. Until 1994, habaneros held the world record as the hottest pepper on Earth. The next generation of peppers would eventually make them look mild. Level 5, extremely hot, 350,000 to 1 million SHU. The world of super hot peppers begins here. Peppers cultivated specifically to break records. Ghost pepper, Potjolokia, was measured at 1,041,427 Scoville units in 2007 by researchers at New Mexico State University, becoming the first pepper officially recorded above 1 million SHU. It comes from the Assam region of northeastern India, where it has been cultivated for centuries as a food, a preservative, and, historically, as a defensive weapon. Indian military tests in 2009 used Bhut Jolokia as the active ingredient in tear gas-style grenades. The pepper was deemed effective enough as a non-lethal deterrent to be adopted for crowd control and border defense. At this level, eating a raw pepper produces symptoms indistinguishable from mild chemical burns: throat swelling, uncontrollable sweating, involuntary tears, and, for some people, nausea and vomiting. The pain can last for 20 to 40 minutes with no way to stop it. Level 6, nuclear. 1 million to 2,200,000 SHU. Above 1 million Scoville units sits the modern era of engineered peppers. Trinidad Moruga Scorpion, 2,009,231 SHU in 2012. Carolina Reaper, 1,569,300 SHU. Average, peaking at 2,200,000. These peppers were developed by breeders whose only goal was to break records. Wesley Hazen with the chocolate Botla, Ed Curry with the Carolina Reaper. Ed Curry founded the Pucker Butt Pepper Company in Fort Mill, South Carolina, specifically to create the world's hottest pepper. The Carolina Reaper was declared the world's hottest by Guinness World Records in 2013 and held that title until 2023. At this level, capsaicin is no longer a flavor. It is a chemical event. Videos of people eating whole reapers show involuntary muscle spasms, prolonged crying, and, in one documented case, cluster headaches lasting for weeks after a single pepper. In 2018, a 34-year-old man who ate a Carolina Reaper in an eating contest was hospitalized with thunderclap headaches and a suspected reversible cerebral vasoconstriction syndrome. The category of eating for entertainment exists because these peppers do not exist in traditional cuisine. There is no dish that requires 2 million Scoville units. Level 7, weapons grade, 2,200,000 to 3 million plus SHU. Pepper X, chocolate Butla, and the pepper that redefined the top of the scale. In October 2023, Ed Curry's Pepper X was certified by Guinness World Records at 2,693,000 Scoville units, the new hottest pepper on Earth. It was developed at Puckerbutt over 10 years of selective breeding. The formal breeding program remains proprietary. Pepper X is not sold to the public. It is only available in extremely small quantities in a single hot sauce produced by Puckerbutt. Ed Curry has stated in interviews that eating a whole Pepper X induced pain so severe he could not stand for over an hour. Pepper spray, used by law enforcement in the United States, is typically rated at 2 million to 5,300,000 Scoville units. Pepper X is chemically indistinguishable in heat from a police-grade defensive weapon. The category has effectively converged with weapons technology. The peppers at the top of the scale are no longer food. They are chemical products, sold in single-drop quantities consumed for the extreme sensory experience and the online content that eating them generates. 7 levels. 1 molecule. Capsaicin doesn't damage tissue. It tricks a single receptor into signaling fire where there is none. Bell peppers have 0. Pepper X has almost 3 million times more of it than a bell pepper. Both are the same species. Both grow on the same kind of plant. The bottom of the scale is food. The top is chemistry. Somewhere in the middle is every hot sauce, every curry, every taco, every jerk chicken, every noodle dish that ever earned the word spicy in a menu. The heat in your food is not just a flavor. It is a pharmacist's measurement, invented for a medical company in 1912, still calibrating what humans are willing to put in their mouths a century later. Foodology has more every week.